All right, how do I rank a long snapper? The first thing I'm looking for is their mentality. Mentality means how do you handle pressure? It's great if you can snap well in front of your grandma and grandpa and mom and dad and brother and sister and five other people in the crowd. But what coaches are really going to want to see and what I want to see is how well do you handle pressure, say in front of a coach, in front of me, in front of 110,000 people. That's what they want to know. Because remember, a long snapper is a very pressure-filled position. You're only getting probably 10 to 15 total snaps a game, and you need to be absolutely perfect during those snaps. So mentality is number one. The next thing I'm looking for is your athleticism. How well do you move on your feet? This was one that really can help out a smaller statured long snapper. If you're not a overly large long snapper, but you're shorter, say you're not as built, that's okay as long as you can really move on your feet. You do not have to be the world's greatest athlete to be a top tier long snapper, but being a good, even great athlete does help out a lot in the recruiting process. How well do you move on your feet? Are you going to be an asset to the punt coverage team? The next thing I'm looking for in a long snapper is how fast do you snap the ball. What I'm looking for is 0.75 or quicker at a 15-yard snap. 0.75 or quicker on a 15-yard snap. That means as soon as any part of your body moves, the clock starts. As soon as it hits the punter's hands, boom, that's when the clock stops. We want 0.75 or quicker. 0.75 or quicker. No wasted movement, a good use of your body, great form. That's going to get you 0.75 or quicker. Next thing I'm looking for is accuracy. How accurate are you when you snap the ball? What I always say is you want to hit in the Rubio zone. The Rubio zone is lowest rib to mid-thigh, armpit to armpit. That's where we want the ball to be. Boom, right on the right hip or boom, right on the left hip. Even if your punter, say, wants it at his face, that's great because it's easier to catch for them, but they still have to turn the ball over. So ideally, accuracy is in the Rubio zone, lowest rib to mid-thigh, armpit to armpit, right hip or left hip. Next thing I'm looking for is size. How big are you? How strong are you? Like I said before, how well do you move on your feet? Ideally, you'd build a long snapper about 6'5", 240 pounds that can run. Is every long snapper built like that? Absolutely not, and I understand that. So if you are smaller in stature, say you're 5'3", 150 pounds, you better be very strong, be very accurate, very quick with your snaps, and one hell of an athlete. So if two long snappers are, say, built the exact same way, and one's 6'3", 210 pounds, and one is 5'3", 200 pounds, the taller, leaner one, who's a little bit more athletic, obviously, he's going to be ranked higher. Another thing I'm looking for is consistency. How consistent are you when you snap the ball? That means if you can snap a 0.75, it should be right around 0.75 every single time. 0.75, 0.76, 0.74, 0.73, 0.75, right around there. If you are 0.75, 0.99, 1.04, 0.62, 0.75, that shows me that there's something wrong with your form and you do not have consistency. A coach is going to want a long snapper that's very consistent every single time. They want to know exactly what type of long snapper is going on the field every single snap. Another big thing that I'm looking for in a long snapper is, does your ball spiral? Is it a nice tight spiral that can stick to the punter's hands or the holder's hands? That's what coaches are going to want to see. A nice tight spiral slice through the wind. It speeds up a little bit because there's no wind drag, so to speak, on it, and it's easy to catch. And honestly, it looks prettier as well. One final thing I'm looking for from a long snapper is how well do you block? Okay, not a lot of schools required. Actually, more and more are going to it nowadays. But if you're looking to truly get to the NFL, the next level after college, it's one of those things that you're going to have to learn how to do. And this is one of the big things that separate a good high school snapper from a college snapper to an NFL long snapper, the ability to block, and then also where size comes into matter as well. Okay, you don't have to pancake every single person, but you need to be able to get into your gap and get in their way.